Are you thinking about moving to the Triad area of North Carolina in 2026, but you're not sure which suburb actually fits your lifestyle? When most people think about the Triad, they usually think about the three major cities, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and High Point. But honestly, some of the best places to live are not always inside those bigger cities. A lot of people moving to the Triad are looking to the suburbs because they want more space, quieter neighborhoods, good schools, better value compared to larger metro areas, and they still want to be close to shopping, restaurants, jobs, and entertainment. So in this video, I'm breaking down my top 5 Triad suburbs people are moving to in 2026. We're going to talk about home prices, commute, location, schools, lifestyle, things to do, and who each town is best for. Make sure you stick around until the end because the best suburb for you really depends on whether you want affordability, luxury, good schools, convenience, or that quiet small town feel. I'm Nicholas Newcomer, your trusted real estate broker here in North Carolina. If you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere around Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, or the surrounding Triad area, feel free to reach out. My information is down below. And before we jump in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos about living in North Carolina, moving to North Carolina, and buying or selling real estate here in the Triad. Now let's jump into the list. Coming in at number 5 is Kernersville, North Carolina. Kernersville is one of the most practical suburbs in the entire Triad because of its location. It sits right between Greensboro and Winston-Salem, which makes it a great option for commuters. If one person in the household works in Greensboro and the other works in Winston-Salem, Kernersville can be a very smart middle ground location. The town even markets itself as the heart of the Triad, and that really describes what makes Kernersville so appealing. You are not too far from Greensboro, not too far from Winston-Salem, and you still have a lot of everyday conveniences right in town. From a housing standpoint, Kernersville is one of the better values on the list. The average single family home in Kernersville costs around $345,500, which is lower than several other popular Triad suburbs. To compare, the average single family home is around $429,000 in Lewisville, $560,000 in Summerfield, and $635,000 in Oak Ridge. So if you're looking for a suburb that gives you convenience, location, and a lower price point compared to some of the more expensive areas, Kernersville is definitely worth looking at. And if you're not ready to buy yet, renting in Kernersville will cost around $1,930 per month. That gives renters a way to experience the area before committing to buying, especially if they are relocating to the Triad and still trying to figure out which side of Greensboro, Winston-Salem works best for them. The lifestyle here is convenient. You have shopping, restaurants, grocery stores, medical offices, parks, and easy highway access. It feels more developed than some of the quieter suburbs on the list. So if you want privacy and a more rural feel, Kernersville may not be your first choice, but if you want convenience, affordability, and access to both Greensboro and Winston-Salem, it is one of the strongest picks in the Triad. There are also some great things to do in Kernersville. One of the biggest attractions is Corner Folly, a historic Victorian house museum that is known for its unusual architecture and unique layout. It is located in historic downtown Kernersville and is a great place to visit if you enjoy history, architecture, or local attractions that feel different from the typical museum. Another great stop is the Paul J. Botanical Garden, which has themed garden areas, seasonal flowers, and peaceful walking areas. You also have Triad Park, which is one of the better known parks in the area, plus downtown shops, local restaurants, breweries, and seasonal events like the Kernersville Spring Folly. Kernersville is best for buyers who want convenience, people commuting around the Triad, first-time buyers, move-up buyers, renters, testing out the area before buying, and families who want suburban living without being too far from either Greensboro or Winston-Salem. The downside is that Kernersville is busier than some of the quieter, more upscale suburbs. So if you want a peaceful home feel, you may like Summerfield or Oak Ridge better, but if you want a practical location with good access and more affordability, Kernersville is a great choice. Coming in at number 4 is Jamestown, North Carolina. Carolina. Jamestown is one of the best balanced suburbs in the Triad because it sits between Greensboro and High Point. It gives you easy access to both cities, but it still has a small town feel. This is a great option if you want to be close to jobs, shopping, restaurants, highways, and the airport side of the Triad, but you do not necessarily want to live directly inside Greensboro or High Point. From a housing standpoint, Jamestown can be a very strong value compared to some of the more expensive suburbs in the Triad. The average single family home price in Jamestown will run you around $342,000, which keeps it more affordable than places like Lewisville, Summerfield, and Oak Ridge. That makes Jamestown a good option for buyers who want a central location, established neighborhood, and a charming small town feel without jumping into the higher price point. And if you're looking to rent in Jamestown, it will cost you around $1,895 per month. So whether you are buying or renting, Jamestown gives you a good balance of location, convenience, and affordability compared to some of the more expensive suburbs around Greensboro and Winston-Salem. Jamestown is not the biggest suburb, but that is the best part of its charm. You have established neighborhoods, mature trees, local shops, park, history, and a stronger community feel than you might expect from a town located so close to two larger cities. It's not as rural as Summerfield, and it's not as busy as Kernersville, so it falls right in the middle. One of the biggest things to do in Jamestown is High Point City Lake Park, which is located right in Jamestown. This is a great family-friendly place with outdoor space like lake access, playground areas, and seasonal activities. It is one of those places where you can take the kids, walk around, enjoy the water, or spend part of the day outside without having to drive very far. Jamestown also has the Mendel Home Place, which gives the town historic character, plus Jamestown Park golf course, local restaurants, small shop, and nearby attractions in both Greensboro and High Point. You're not far from bigger entertainment options, but you still get to come home to a quieter town. Jamestown is best for buyers who want to be close to Greensboro and High Point, people who want a central Triad location, family looking for established neighborhoods, and buyers or renters who want small town charm without being too far from major conveniences. The downside is that Jamestown is smaller, so if you're looking for nightlife, tons of shopping, or a lot of brand new construction, you may find it a little limited, but if you want location, charm, and convenience, Jamestown is one of the best suburbs in the Triad. Coming in at number 3 is Lewisville, North Carolina. Lewisville is one of the best suburbs on the Winston-Salem side of the Triad. If you work in Winston-Salem, Clemens, Western Forsyth County, or even parts of Davie County, Lewisville can be a great place to live. What makes Lewisville stand out is the community feel. It is quieter than Winston-Salem, but you still have access to the city. It feels residential, peaceful, and family friendly. From a housing standpoint, single family homes in Lewisville will run around $429,000 on average. That makes Lewisville more expensive than Kernersville and Jamestown, but still more affordable than Summerfield and Oak Ridge. So if you want a quieter Winston-Salem side suburb with a strong community feel, but you don't want to jump into the higher prices of Oak Ridge or Summerfield, Lewisville can be a really good middle ground option. And if you are looking to rent in Lewisville, the average rent is around $1,250 per month. That gives renters a more affordable way to experience the area before deciding whether they want to buy, especially if they are relocating to the Winston-Salem side of the Triad and trying to figure out which town fits their lifestyle best. This is the kind of town where people move because they want a slower pace, more space, community events, and a little more breathing room. Lewisville is probably not the best choice if you commute every day to Greensboro because that drive can start to feel long, but if your life is centered around Winston-Salem, Lewisville is one of the best places to look. One of the main gathering spots in Lewisville is Shallow Ford Square. This is where the town hosts events, outdoor movies, concerts, and community gatherings. It gives Lewisville that small town community feel that a lot of people are looking for when they move to the area. Lewisville also has community events throughout the year, including events at Jack Warren Park and the Mary Alice Warren Community Center. For parks and outdoor living, Lewisville Lewisville has places like the Moser Park, which offers a playground, ball field, tennis courts, and picnic areas. Lewisville is also a good area if you enjoy biking, walking, or just being outdoors in a quieter suburban setting. Lewisville is best for people who want to be near Winston-Salem, families wanting quieter suburbs, buyers or renters who like community events, people who want a small town feel, and buyers who do not need to commute to Greensboro every day. The downside is that Lewisville is not as central to the entire Triad as Kernersville or Jamestown. It is more a Winston-Salem side suburb, but if Winston-Salem is where you work, shop, or spend most of your time, Lewisville is a great option. Coming in at number 2 is Oak Ridge, North Carolina. Oak Ridge is one of the best desirable suburbs in the Greensboro area, especially for buyers who want a more upscale, peaceful, and family-focused lifestyle. This is not usually where buyers go when they are trying to find the cheapest house in the Triad. Oak Ridge is more of a premium suburb where you will typically find larger homes, larger lots, quiet neighborhoods, and a strong school-driven reputation. From a housing standpoint, average single-family homes in Oak Ridge will run around $635,000, making it one of the more expensive suburbs on the list. It is priced higher than Kernersville, Jamestown, Lewisville, and even Summerfield based on the numbers we are using in this video. So if you're looking at Oak Ridge, you are usually looking for a higher end suburban lifestyle, more space, and a quieter setting close to Greensboro. And if you're looking to rent in Oak Ridge, the average rent is around $2,595 per month. That is also one of the higher rental numbers on this list, which makes sense because Oak Ridge is known as one of the more premium communities in the Triad. Whether you are buying or renting, Oak Ridge is going to appeal more to people who are comfortable with a higher monthly housing cost in exchange for space, schools, and lifestyle. A lot of people like Oak Ridge because it gives you that peaceful suburban feel while you still being close enough to Greensboro, the airport area, and nearby communities like Summerfield and Stokesdale. It is a strong fit for families, luxury buyers, and people who want room to spread out without being too far from the city. Oak Ridge has a slower, quieter feel compared to Greensboro or Kernersville, and that is exactly what many buyers are looking for. The biggest local attraction is Oak Ridge Town Park. This park has playgrounds, picnic shelters, a stock pond, walking trails, a mountain bike trail, a dog park, athletic fields, an amphitheater, and community events. It is one of the main places where residents go to walk, take kids to play, attend local events, or just enjoy being outside. Another great spot is Heritage Farm Park, which has walking trails, playgrounds, space, sports fields, picnic shelters, and the Veterans Honor Green Memorial. Oak Ridge also has the Old Mill of Guilford, which is a well-known historic mill and local attraction. So Oak Ridge is not really a nightlife town. It is more about parks, community events, outdoor living, and a quieter lifestyle. Oak Ridge is best for families prioritizing schools, luxury buyers wanting larger homes and lots, people who want peace and quiet, and buyers or renters who want to be close to Greensboro but not directly in the city. The downside is price. Oak Ridge is one of the most expensive suburbs in the Triad, and you also do not have the same level of shopping, restaurants, or nightlife that you would find in Greensboro or Kernersville. But if you want space, schools, and quality of life, Oak Ridge is one of the best suburbs in the Triad. And coming in at number 1 is Summerfield, North Carolina. Summerfield is one of the top suburbs in the Triad for people who want space, privacy, large lots, luxury homes, and that peaceful country feel while still being close to Greensboro. This is one of those places where people move when they want to be near the city, but they do not want to feel like they live in the city. It has that just outside of Greensboro lifestyle that a lot of relocation buyers are looking for. From a housing standpoint, the average single family home in Summerfield will cost you around $560,000. That makes Summerfield one of the more expensive suburbs on the list, but it still comes in lower than Oak Ridge, the numbers we are seeing right now. So if you are looking for a higher end suburb with larger lots, more privacy, and a quieter lifestyle close to Greensboro, Summerfield is definitely one of the top places to consider. And if you're looking to rent Summerfield, the average rent is around $2,095 per month. That puts Summerfield above places like Lewisville, Jamestown, and Kernersville for rent, but below Oak Ridge. So whether you are buying or renting, Summerfield is going to appeal to people who are willing to pay more for space, privacy, and a more peaceful setting. Summerfield is popular with families, luxury buyers, and people who want room to spread out. It is not the cheapest place to live, but for buyers who want privacy, space, larger lots, and a quieter lifestyle, it is one of the top options in the Triad. You are close enough to Greensboro for shopping, dining, jobs, and entertainment, but you can still come home to a more peaceful environment. That combination is what makes Summerfield so attractive. One of the biggest outdoor spots is Summerfield Community Park. This park has walking and biking areas, fishing areas, outside fitness space, picnic areas, and community events. Summerfield also has local events like music in the park, Founders Day, and family-friendly community activities. Another well-known local destination is Summerfield Farm, which is a popular venue and gathering place in the area. You also have access to golf, trails, parks, and nearby outdoor spaces. A future amenity to keep an eye on is the Farms Park, which is planned as a large regional park with trails, greenway access, and adventure playground, picnic areas, and outdoor recreation. So if you like park, trails, farm, golf, community events, and outdoor living, Summerfield is a great fit. Summerfield is best for buyers who want space, families looking for a quieter lifestyle, luxury buyers, people who want to be close to Greensboro but not inside Greensboro, and buyers or renters who like larger lot, privacy, and outdoor living. The downside is that Summerfield is more expensive than most Triad suburbs. It is also not the best fit if you want walkability, nightlife, or tons of restaurants right around the corner, but if you want one of the most desirable suburban lifestyles near Greensboro. So those are my top 5 Triad suburbs people are moving to in 2026: Kernersville, Jamestown, Lewisville, Oak Ridge, and Summerfield. The right choice really depends on what you're looking for. If you are moving here for affordability and convenience, Kernersville may be the best fit. If you want small town feel with a central location, Jamestown is a great option. If you want to be near Winston-Salem, Lewisville should definitely be on the list. If you want upscale neighborhoods and a peaceful family lifestyle, Oak Ridge is one of the top choices. And if you want space, privacy, large lots, and a country feel close to Greensboro, Summerfield may be the best fit for you. If you're thinking about moving to the Triad, buying a home, selling a home, or just trying to figure out which town makes the most sense for your lifestyle, feel free to reach out anytime. I'm Nicholas Newcomer, your trusted real estate broker here in North Carolina. My contact information is down below. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next video about living in North Carolina. I'll see you in the next video.